With me right now, Senator Tom Cotton. My prediction in 2024, he'll be part of the Republican debate stage because he's got the perfect resume, background, and passion for the position. Senator, welcome back.
Hey, Brian, it's great to be back on with you.
Okay, first things first. John Kerry was just on with Ed Henry and was asked about, is he trying to undermine the president's foreign policy by meeting with these other countries and reportedly saying, I'm just going to wait them out. Listen to what he said.
That is, once again, another presidential lie, a complete effort by the president to distort reality, because if he knew anything about the law, he'd know I didn't negotiate with anybody. I did what every senator and secretaries of state in history have done, which is continue to go to conferences abroad or have meetings in order to be well informed. We engaged in no negotiation. But what he ought to do is focus on somebody called Rudy Giuliani, who's been out there engaged in very direct negotiations in an effort to try to do a subterfuge foreign policy.
Well, do you buy that? He just likes to go to international conferences?
Brian, no, I don't buy that at all. Look, John Kerry has been doing this for 3 years now. And in fact, he's been doing it, I believe, at almost every Munich Security Conference in February since he left office. He goes to these conferences, he sits down with his Iranian buddies, and he tells them, wait out the Trump administration, help is on the way. He's right that past Secretary of State also travel the world and they speak to foreign governments, but oftentimes they're doing so to help deliver messages for the administration that's in power, or at least to listen and maybe bring messages back, not to actively undermine the sitting president's foreign policy.
Well, I mean, he also says that the president has outsourced his Iranian foreign policy, and it's been a disaster. Your response?
I don't know what he means by outsourcing the Iranian foreign policy. I mean, the president obviously is in charge of foreign policy of the United States, and it was the president who delivered the strongest message that we've given to Iran in 40 years by killing their terrorist mastermind, Qasem Soleimani, just last month in Iraq.
Yeah, I don't get it either. When you talk about John Kerry, do you know that firsthand, that he has been running his own foreign policy?
Well, I wasn't in the meetings with John Kerry and Javed Zarif, but I have received information in a manner that I tend to believe, Brian, that that's exactly what he's been saying to Iranian officials for 3 years, or the messages that he's been delivering through intermediaries to them for 3 years. Wait Donald Trump out. Help will be on the way in 2021. It's disgraceful.
Senator Tom Cotton with us. Senator, I was reading these financial guys' reports, and they're saying the economy's going to roll, but they're getting worried that the coronavirus will affect the world economy like we have not really come to grips with yet. I know you've been all over this, citing the alarm, and everything you've been saying has been coming true, but it didn't stop the Washington Post for saying you made up some story about the Chinese germ program really possibly launching the coronavirus. What do you say to that?
Yeah, it seems like the fake news media is angrier at me for raising these possibilities than they are at the Chinese Communist Party for creating the mess to begin with. Here's what we know, Brian, that the coronavirus did not start in the Wuhan food market, which is what the Chinese communists said to begin with. So it's only reasonable and prudent for us to ask the question, where did it begin? It could have been another natural cause, say another food market or a farm or a food processing facility. But we have to observe that super laboratory is just a few miles away from the food market, and the Chinese Communist Party has been very dishonest and has totally lacked transparency about what's been going on in Wuhan to create this virus originally. That's why they need to open up and be transparent, and until we have the evidence, we shouldn't rule out any possibility.
And that's where we stand. Is this something would you take the opportunity to go over there and speak to them? Not that they would really want to speak to you, but
I'm not sure they'd be granting my visa, or that my wife would want me to be going to Wuhan at this point. What they need to do is to open up not just Beijing and their bureaucratic offices, but Wuhan itself to an accredited, respected team of international scientists, doctors, experts. I'm not talking about Iranians or Russians or North Koreans. I mean, Americans, Europeans, Japanese, Canadians, people who can actually try to get to the bottom of how this virus started, and hopefully the implications for what that means for diagnostic tests and for a vaccine.
Senator, I'm sure you know that they have a 7-day pause, evidently, in the Afghanistan conflict, the war we're still fighting over there. Are you optimistic this is a foundation for the end of that war?
Well, it's good to have a pause in fighting. It's better than fighting always, and I hope that it ends up lasting more than 7 days. But I'm always very skeptical about the Taliban's intentions longer than 7 days. Look, I would like to bring our troops home more than probably almost anyone else. Maybe only except those who have served there and sacrificed there. But we do have to remember that the Taliban harbored and aided those people that launched the 9/11 attacks against us. And Afghanistan is still the place where we have the highest concentration of foreign terrorist organizations anywhere in the world. If we can find a way to a durable and stable peace that doesn't threaten to have create a terrorist haven that can then be used against us again, then that would be the best outcome. But I think we should remain appropriately skeptical of the Taliban's intentions.
Senator Tom Cotton, always great to talk to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Brian.